man. Culture talk. You know what it is, man. How y'all doing out there, man? Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm back. You know what I'm saying? The king is back. So look, today's episode, we're going to be talking about Cenat. Cenat, man. People are saying that he don't help his friends. And we're going to get into that. Before I get into that, you know I got to get a legendary spill. This is Torch to Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content. Absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They call me the Hidden Gem. I went from 1,300 subscribers over 13, 14, 15, and 16,000 subscribers. And yes, I am the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you from. You know what I'm saying? So look, man, we're going to get right into it. This is the 8 a.m. show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. So let's get to it, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, man. So let's go. How y'all doing out there? Hope everybody's good this morning. Let's get it.
To end my thoughts on music and the business daily for free at helloyouseen.com. What's poppin', y'all? Cenat recently came out on one of his streams and he was explaining that he doesn't give anybody, including his friends, free handouts in this clip. And I completely agree. And I think this carries over to hip hop very well. So I'm gonna play you guys the clip first.
I'm a firm believer on you have to throw your friends in the ocean, bro. You can't hold their hand too long. You can give them an opportunity and you have to let them swim. They have to swim. I'm telling you, bro, a lot of the times you could give your mans the opportunity and shit. But bro, they have to swim. You wanna know why? Because they have to get into the mentality that no one's gonna help them but themselves. You feel me?
This is going to be a very good, very good, very, very good podcast. Very good, because there's some things that I disagree with what he's saying, but there's some things at the same time I agree with what he's saying. And I'm going to explain my position on it. Ultimately, you should help your friends and your family. But I'm going to give him the grace on this one because I understand exactly what he's saying. Now, there's a reason why I say you should help. Now, for his reason, it may be something totally different. He may be giving a different reason why you shouldn't help. But I'm going to give my reason on why you should help. And I think that there's different ways of helping. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it going.
mentality. You gotta trust yourself first. You gotta put yourself front line. You can't just look out for everybody to just help you. You gotta just grind and feel it. A nigga, it builds character too, bro. I purposely don't set certain shit up easy for them so that they're able to build character and understand what it means to really grind, bro. And then at a perfect point when I see them niggas going crazy, then I come in at the craziest time, bro.
So as you guys just saw, some people think this is...
All right. Now, I think that what he's doing as a young man, I think that's great. I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all what he's doing is wrong. I think it's actually pretty good that he's doing that. However, I do believe that you shouldn't play games with people's lives. Now, what Cenat is probably doing isn't, in his eyes, playing games. He probably is trying to really build character. But looking from the outside in, which what people should mind their business, I know. But looking from the outside in, I don't look at it from that point of view. I look at it as if you're testing them to a certain extent. Now, that some people might say, yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. But for me, I take a different position on that because I think that you could test people, but at the same time, I don't think you have to make it into some type of self gratification for you. You know what I'm saying? Well, I want to see what he does. You know what I'm saying? I think it has to be a little bit more genuine than that. And me personally, I wouldn't do it like that. I would be more on the lines of, I need you to do this. If you can't do it, I'm gonna get somebody else to do it. And if you don't do it the right way, then I'm gonna get someone else to do it. Now, his way might be a little bit better than mine because he said he's trying to build character. I'm probably much older than him, so I'm looking at it from the point of view of my friends already should have character. I shouldn't be rebuilding or branding my friends when I believe that they should be already in that position.
Fair. Some people think this is wrong, but let me just give you a little bit of insight and some perfect examples. So for instance, if Kai Cenat puts somebody on, well, let's just look at his background. Kai Cenat has been making videos on social media since he was 13 years old. Like, we saw a previous photo of him at Roman Atwood and Fousey Tube's meetup when he was just a child, and he's been aspiring to be a YouTuber content creator since then. He's been on Snapchat, Facebook, every single thing. So think of all those years where nothing happened for him as a teenager, as a kid, and he kept going. And then he was recording YouTube videos while he was in college. He would even say he would film a YouTube video, stay up all night editing it to get it out, and then go to class after that. So he's doing this and barely anything's happening for the most part. He's not making money, but there were moments when he would pop here and there on Facebook, but he still kept going. And then eventually his YouTube starts blowing up. He transitions to Twitch. He has to build up Twitch again. It's not an audience that just directly transfers over. So he's building that up, and now he's arguably the biggest American Twitch streamer. I would say, yeah, he is the biggest American Twitch streamer. XQC is huge, but he's Canadian. So now, and Kai Cenat's directly affecting culture and trends, whereas XQC is not. So for Kai Cenat to put someone on, number one, and I've noticed this so many times, especially in hip hop, people get lazy and they have this entitlement, even if you give it to them, and they'll fumble it. So for instance, Chief Keef blew up in Chicago.
But again, that's not your problem. That's not your problem. That's why I have the disagreement at. The opportunity is supposed to be given, right? Now, if you say no, then you basically just like the same people that say you shouldn't get an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Or some people saying that you should work for an opportunity, right? I agree with that. But the way you're putting it is if Kai Cenat shouldn't put nobody on because he worked so hard to get where he at, he shouldn't put nobody on because he worked too hard. I'll put it to you like this. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Not saying that I totally disagree with what he's saying. I'm just playing devil's advocate. But I look at it from this point of view, right? Some people work hard to make it easy for other people. Somebody has to do the hard work. Because either way you look at it, everybody ain't going to do the hard work. Somebody under you is going to do easier work than you are. Or you're going to be the one who do all the hard work in the beginning, and then maybe along the lines they do the rest of the hard work. But I understand exactly what he's saying, but I got to give a little pushback because I think that that's the problem with black people. There's two problems I look at. From the one side, I understand what Kai is saying. You can't just give people stuff. And on the other side, you can't give people stuff. They have to want it and they have to work for it, right? And they appreciate it more when you do give it to them that way. But on the other side, we get in these positions and we don't help. And we do things like we play this game where we feel like people got to, want it, but they don't want it the way you want it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to explain what I believe that you should do in a situation like that. Let's keep going.
Chicago. And he tried to put a lot of people on. And he indirectly put a lot of people on. His own ops started blowing up. He created this magnifying glass on the Chicago drill scene that allowed anybody that wanted to blow up to blow up. He was bringing guys around him, and they just weren't able to hack it. Fredo Santana was able to make a career for himself, do a couple of things. Lil Reese, honestly, a lot of things fell by the wayside for him, and he wasn't able to capitalize properly. I don't know if it was drugs, whatever the case may be.
But see, and that's another thing that people got to stop doing, right? You got to stop micromanaging what people do when you give them something. You know what I'm saying? What they do with it. Unless they working directly for you, If you give them something and I hate to say it this way, they decide to do something a certain way. In your mind, you think they're blowing it, but in their mind, they might think that they're doing the right thing. And another thing, Chief Keef might have put a lot of people on, right? Let's say he did. But truth be told, some of the people just ain't it. I don't care who you put on. Jay-Z could get on a record with somebody and people will still not listen to the record because they need to listen to you. They want to know what you about. Some of these artists don't know, they don't have no direction and they don't know which way to go. Even if somebody do put them on, you can't just stand by their side the whole time. And sometimes I don't think you should be micromanaging how people move anyway. You give somebody something, that's what it is you give it to them. And they supposed to be able to do what they believe. Unless they're working for you, they supposed to be able to do it the way they want to do it without you telling them how to do it. Then that's controlling what you gave them. Is basically you just gave them something with a leash on it. That's all it is.
Or like beef, but he wanted to stay in Chicago. There were issues. SD had a good run, the rapper SD from Chicago. But then you had other rappers that took advantage of the Chicago scene without support from anybody else, like Montana 300, that ran up a bag during that era. That had his own clothing brand. He was doing stuff independently. He was releasing projects via iTunes. So that's an individual that took advantage of Chief Keef's wave, or the Chicago wave, blew up off of it, made a ton of money without any support from the original himself, and lapping people that Chief Keef actually.
But then that's a different argument. That's a different argument. What are you trying to say? Because the way Kai Cenat is saying he doesn't help his friends, you're trying to connect that to artists who do something and it's an influence. That's not the same argument. That's two different arguments. The artist that does something and they influence is totally different. I could be influenced by I could have been influenced by Nipsey Hussle. He ain't around me. I could have been influenced by him. I could have been influenced by Meek Mill. That's not the same argument. You're making a false equivalence. That's not the same. He's saying his friends, he don't help his friends. You're talking about, now you're saying Chief Keef, even though he didn't directly help him. That's not the same argument then.
Helped or gave a handout to. Another example is Aiden Ross. Aiden Ross blows up, he gets a massive kick deal, and he tries putting on all of his homies. He's like, yo, I got you guys a guaranteed salary, a guaranteed payday, and all you have to do is just show up and stream these hours, and you can be making six figures. These guys fumble it. They just, and Aiden Ross has even expressed frustration with it. He's like, these guys won't even stream, and I'm giving them guaranteed, or I'm making sure that they get guaranteed money. Some of them lost deals, and it's sad.
Now, okay, so now let's speak on that. Now, that right there is totally different. And this is the reason why, and I hate to say it like this, but it's the truth. This is the reason why white people succeed and black people hold ourselves back. Now, I understand that us as black people, we want to build character, right? We want to build character. Some of us, we do. But truth be told, sometimes I think that the opportunity that Aiden Ross was presenting to his friends is the opportunity that us as black people, let's say if I was a big streamer, I would present that same opportunity to my friends. And if they get up, then that's it. You know what I'm saying? But I think sometimes black people, we work hard for something and we want to see you work hard for it too. And we want to see my cousin work hard for it too. We want to see him work hard for it too. Not to say that white people ain't like that. I'm just comparing the two. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some white people like that too. And there's some black people who actually give stuff away too. It's not always like that. But for the two dynamics that he just presented to me, I'm just going off of these examples. And I believe the majority of black people, usually, we don't necessarily put, we will, and it's just crazy to say this, but we will literally put on a stranger before we put on our family. We will put on a stranger. We will get help from a stranger. I'm gonna tell y'all a real quick story before we go, right? I own a crib, and one of my closest friends, right? He wanted to buy my house, right? And basically I told the person, I said, well, how much you want to buy it for? So they told me. And I said, well, the house is worth this amount of money. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They wanted me to sell them the house, what I brought it for, and not make no profit off it because we were friends. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times this is what happens when we're dealing with when black people deal with each other. We think that we're supposed to look each other out in the sense of, well, if you're there, then you need to put me on the same level as you. You know what I'm saying? Without no cause, just do it. And I'm saying, like, to my friend, like, well, I have to make a profit off the house. I can't just, where am I gonna live? He like, I mean, what you want me to say, bro? I'm like, well, you want to buy the house for the amount of money I paid for the house. That doesn't make sense. Like, I don't get it. So I understand exactly what he's saying. But the thing is, what Aiden Ross did is totally different from what Cenat did. But to me, you can see the clear difference. And I think sometimes us as black people, we don't want to just give our stuff away. You know what I'm saying? Especially if we work hard for it. And sometimes we know niggas is lazy.
Because some people think like, oh yeah, you got to help your homies. But the truth is, if you don't already have the work ethic in you to continuously go at something, if somebody puts you on, you're going to fumble. Especially if it's easy, man, you're not going to do any work after that. And it's a frustrating thing because I know it's frustrating for Cenat too, but he's so wise in his... Hell, at his young age, because most other people, they don't get this. People older than him. Some people will relate this to music with members only, and some people tried to say that this was Ski Mask. We are not going to put that on Ski Mask the Slump God. Ski Mask the Slump God was already rapping before XXXTentacion. He's a far better skilled rapper. Skill at the art and craft of rapping than XXXTentacion. He didn't make music like XXXTentacion at all. They were different. They had strong synergy. And Ski Mask after XXXTentacion still dropped good projects. Like Stokely was a great project. That was after X's passing. Now, some people will say, oh, after that, he hasn't been able to capitalize this and that. But what did you expect? Like, Ski Mask is a niche artist. He can't make songs like Juice WRLD made that are widely appealing. Or I wouldn't say that he can't, but that's not his forte. Like, he's known for a specific flow that he brought into the game, and he's still doing.
But what does this have to do with what you're talking about? I get it. Maybe you basically saying the reason why he got helped by Extentation, but he didn't succeed. I'm guessing that that's what you're doing by going off, giving this sequelably about this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get it. He's pretty good. We understand. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, me personally, I think the boy's okay. I don't think he's like super nice like you're saying he is, but it is what it is.
Doing incredibly well. I mean, he had a album last year, 11th Dimension. Like, check out the streams on that thing. It's done fine for somebody that is really not in the mix of things. However, everyone else from members only, yeah, people like Kid Trunks is a perfect example. Kid Trunks was just XXXTentacion's little brother, and he had a couple of good songs, but he just wasn't able to carry the momentum. He got lazy. XXX passed, there were drugs, a bunch of other things happened. Both the rest of members only, like people like, I think, Kill Switch, Tank, all of these other guys, I don't know if Tank was one of them, all of these other guys, they didn't really do much. And the reason why they couldn't do much is because everyone cared about XXX so much. And people were saying that Ski Mask was wrong for separating himself from X at a certain point while X was still alive, but that was the best thing Ski Mask did because he wasn't associated with him anymore. So people started to see Ski Mask as an independent entity, which is not the case with the rest of members only. And it's great when you're benefiting while the guy's still alive and there, but when X passed...
Okay, so I understand what he's saying now. I get what he's saying. So basically, the guy, Ski Mask, he moved away. He kind of stepped back or stepped away from X because he didn't want to be looked at as the other members of members only. You know what I'm saying? And they looked at as they need X to survive. You know what I'm saying? They needed him to survive. So I get what he's saying.
they're really not that interested in you. And actually, no, they were interested for a period of time, because when he passed, the fans were like, yo, let's check out what else is going on with the rest of members only. Since X isn't here, we got to listen to somebody. And that's also why Juice WRLD got a ton of XXXTentacion fans. But Juice WRLD is somebody that made great music and was able to capitalize. But these guys, for the next year or so, where they had a grace period, they didn't know what to do. And it's difficult, right? Like, the guy that put you on, that's a close friend of yours, he passes away. What do you even do? But you got to put your foot on the gas, because opportunities like this don't come a second time. And they let it fall by the wayside. And they just didn't make it clear that they were an independent entity, because then it becomes, okay, so are the rest of these members still members only, or are they doing their own thing? Ski Mask carved out a lane for himself. Ski Mask shows still go crazy, and it is a strong attachment to Juice WRLD and XXXTentacion, but it's not fake at all. There are Ski Mask fans, and they're not just there for the fact that he performs X and Juice songs. I enjoy Ski Mask's music, solely Ski Mask, but he was smart to separate himself. What's another example that I could think of? 50 Cent, a lot of people, even Tony Ayo and Lloyd Banks, like, they're just so strongly associated directly to 50 Cent that, I mean, it's honestly a beautiful thing because it's lasted for so long. But these guys have not expected handouts for a long time and have tried to do their own thing. And they've consistently released music, unlike many other people. And this is why, for instance, with Ray, right? Because Kai Cenat does put people on. But I think the conversation probably comes up where it's like, yo, we're your mans. We've been here for this long, and you put this guy Ray on? Well, the thing is, Kai Cenat meets that guy Ray. They do a vlog or whatever in Japan. It blows up. And the guy Ray demonstrates that he's serious. And he keeps streaming in Taiwan by himself, building up his...
Yeah, see, I don't agree with that. It's the reason why I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. That goes back to what I said about we are so quick to put on people we don't know. And then we complain about people we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Now, in Kai Cenat's situation, I don't know what he offered his friends. I don't know what he did. But if you offered your friends, if you made it easy for this guy to come into your stream, your life, or whatever, and you put him on that easily, and you treat your family and your friends harder, I don't agree with that. 100% disagree with that. There's no way in the world you could tell me that it's okay for you to put a stranger on that you don't know because they work a little hard versus your family that you make it hard for them. You throw them in the ocean, you said. You want to see if they can swim. And if they drown, you won't even come and rescue them. Some people can't swim. That's it. You're like, well, you're my family. You got to learn how to swim. But this guy, nah, I'll put him on. I don't agree with that. I don't think that that's the case. I think if you're going to do that, you should do that with everybody. Not just some guy because he streams a lot and jumps up and down like he in this fucking hopscotch knapsack. I don't agree with that.
Own audience for who knows, months or almost a year before he links up with Kai again, and he keeps doing his own thing. So that guy's demonstrated that he's willing to do the work, because a lot of people appear in someone's vlog and they blow up and nothing really happens after, and they're inconsistent and they're lazy. And I see this and it irritates me so much, man, because when you put in so much effort, and I know rappers go through this a lot, music artists go through this a lot, maybe with people you collaborated with in the past, and they're like, yo, number one, the way social media is structured right now, you can't really put someone on the way that you used to be able to. Like, even if someone, let's say Mr. Beast did this with somebody, like somebody got 1 million subs off of Mr. Beast, and then he struggled to keep up the momentum, because you have to know how to exist on your own and create the type of content that people want to see, or the type of music.
Then that's not the same argument though, dog. That's a totally different argument. If I help you and you can't keep up the same momentum, then that's not the same argument that Kai is making. Kai is saying he doesn't help his friends. If I help you and you get 1 million subs and you can't keep up the same momentum, that's not the same argument. That's two different arguments. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I get it that you want to connect the two, but it's not the same. If Mr. Beast put somebody on and they got 1 million subscribers, 1 million subs, it's not it's not the guy's fault that he can't keep up. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, ultimately, people would say it's his fault, but getting 1 million subs right away, it's really not the guy's fault. You know what I'm saying? If he can't keep up the momentum, because it's a lot to do that. Now, some will say, well, then maybe they shouldn't ask for help for handouts or ask for help. But give me 1 million subs. It's not everybody's like that. Everybody won't be able to keep up. Even Mr. Beast might not be able to keep up with 2 billion subs. You know what I'm saying? So it really doesn't matter. I think that you should still give the person the opportunity, even if they can't keep up. Still give them the opportunity.
Music that people want to hear, and you being a feature on somebody else's song is not enough, because that attention is going to subside very quickly if you're not able to demonstrate consistently and the level of quality that they expect from you. So even if Kai Cenat wanted to put people on, it wouldn't work, and then it would frustrate. And this is the thing,
you can't just, bro, this guy, bro, I like this guy content, but he always make a blanket statement all the time. You can't say that. You can't say because if you put somebody on, it won't work. What are you talking about? He could put somebody on and it might work. He put somebody on and it might be the best thing for it might work. This guy always makes all these blanket statements. Every video I watch from him, he does the same thing. Oh, this person can't do this. Oh, this person can't do that. Oh, this person won't do this. Oh, this person won't do that. Oh, he shouldn't have got this. Like, he always make a definitive answer for everything, bro. You can't say that. You can't say that if he puts somebody on, it won't work. How do you know that? Just because it didn't work for Mr. Beast doesn't mean it won't work for him. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
There's a lot of entitlement to being someone's like friend that's successful. The only thing that Kai Cenat owes his friends or people close to him is friendship, like hanging out with them, maybe talking to them. They're not really owed that, but the notion that he has to give you a career, and this is not easy. Like, Kai Cenat devotes his life to this. Same thing with most artists, most career paths that people think are really, really easy. Sure, they may be easier to maintain, although Kai Cenat is definitely not easy to maintain. When you're at the top like that, you constantly have to be planning and moving and shaking and got a whole team and all of that. But the difficult part is building it brick by brick. And then people just want to move into the house. And then when they move into the house, they don't even want to do any maintenance. So they're not taking out the garbage. They're not raking the leaves. They're not making sure the boiler's working properly. Generator, they're not checking up on that. They're just chilling. And then they're like, yo, why is this house falling apart? Well, it's because you didn't do anything for it. And you don't know how to do anything for it because you didn't learn, because you didn't have to build it brick by brick. So I really respect what Kai Cenat is saying here, and he's spitting facts. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I like that guy's content. Don't get me wrong. And I like to get people pushback sometimes. Sometimes I think people, they say certain things and that's their opinion. And I love it because I like to break people's opinion up. And, you know, if that's your opinion, I respect it. But I can also have an opinion about your opinion. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that was a pretty good episode. You know what I'm saying? I think that ultimately you should help your family and friends. And if it doesn't work out, but you're supposed to genuinely want to do it, not do it because you're trying to, what's the name? You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Genuinely, you're supposed to want to help your friends and family. Genuinely. You know what I'm saying? Not on some other, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to, I helped you and then throw it in their face. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing. Now, like I said before, this doesn't only just apply to Black people who don't want to help their friends and family, but I do notice that us as Black people, we're quick to help a stranger before we help our own family members and our friends, our closest friends. You know what I'm saying? I'll be damned if one of my friends, if I blew up, I'm helping my friends. That's just the bottom line. And I ain't gonna do it because what's the name? I'm gonna make sure that I give it to them, and if they blow it, they blow it. But I'm gonna give them the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So, but thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? For being here with me every day. All right, man, I'm out of here. See y'all. Peace. Bye.